I come to you in 2025, April 16th, just before the Lord's Day of Easter, where maybe a bunny rabbit could offer you an egg of chocolate, or maybe some other surprise in there. Welcome in to the Washed Up Walk-Ons. We're glad you're here for this joyous day. I could just preach, Kev. Don't I give off those vibes?
No, absolutely not.
Oh.
You ever watch the South Park special about it's like, why are there bunnies and eggs and
Grant and I had this conversation the other day. If you guys, anybody
really?
on the Patreon, not about South Park, but we had the conversation of like, how did we get here? Right? How did chocolate eggs? How are the kids looking for eggs? How did this become the tradition for Easter? Contrary to maybe the opening there, I know I sounded like a very church going fellow, not a huge religious guy, but I'm at least smart enough to know that, like, I don't think the original story of Jesus Christ and the resurrection had anything to do with bunny rabbits or eggs. Now, granted, Kev, Jesus ate his eggs. Okay. I just want to say that right now. If the Iowa Egg Council was around back then, they would have sponsored our guy Jesus. Because that guy was jacked, at least from the historical depictions of him I see.
Yeah,
Did
they have chickens back then?
Chickens are like dinosaurs, aren't they?
Well, I mean, they've been around a while, but I mean, I don't know if they had them in ancient Israel. Like,
That's a good question.
I don't know.
Great.
I'm sure they had ducks or hen or something.
Something laid an egg.
Laid eggs. Yeah.
I saw a great comedy bit the other day pop up on my Instagram. It was like, if you're explaining the animal of the chicken, to somebody that didn't know what they were, and the whole thing was, I'm going to butcher it. It's not going to be nearly as funny because he had it all timed up and stuff. But it was essentially like, there's this animal that's shaped like a football, and it's food. You can kill it and cook it. It's delicious. But if you keep it alive, every day it will shit out bonus food. And the way he went about it was great. Like I said, welcome into the Washed Up Walk-Ons podcast. No Grant tonight. Could he be holding out for more money? Is it Grant Nico Allen? G Nico Bone? Do we have to start calling him that? Maybe. I don't know. I'm worried, Kev. G-Bone's team might reach out to us and just start demanding more money.
In this era of NIL, there's nothing really can do about it.
I mean, is he not satisfied with $24 a month? He's going to start asking for $40 a month? That would be wild.
Yeah. Well, I am seeing that Jesus probably did eat eggs.
He did eat eggs.
They were a common part of Jewish cuisine, and it is reasonable to assume that Jesus would have consumed them as part of his daily meals.
Let's go, my guy. Jesus Christ was hitting 5 eggs a day, just like I am. Shout out to the Iowa Egg Council, by the way. Big weekend for them. Can you imagine although maybe people are finding egg alternatives for the decorative and festive purposes. I know a big thing out there is you go buy yourself a dozen and you paint them things up. It's fun to paint eggs.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Now it fit, I think the prices have come down a little bit, but 50 cents an egg, you're starting to be like, whoa, this is, fun with the grandkids is starting to get a little expensive. Trying to use those for the Monday omelet. Can't use them for Sunday's festivities, but still, everybody should have some eggs on hand.
Well, I mean, if you hard boil them, you can still paint them, and then you can still eat them. I mean, that's what we did. That's what we did as kids.
I mean, theoretically, you could paint them and then still crack them the next day, and just the insides would be fine.
Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah.
So hey, multi-purpose your eggs this weekend, people. I guess they're going to be listening to this on Monday, but hopefully you did multi-purpose. And if you didn't, it's Monday. It's time to go get groceries for the week. Hey, pick yourself up a dozen. maybe 18, maybe 2 dozen eggs. Find a way for them to get on your plate. Protein, 6 grams per egg.
It was the Masters weekend last weekend.
It was, yeah.
Um,
That was on the list today, by the way.
well, uh, just so happened that a recipe for some egg salad came across our Instagram feed. Hard boiled up a dozen eggs, made some excellent homemade egg salad, made that nice little sandwich out of it, and that was an excellent Sunday afternoon watching the Masters, having some egg salad sandwiches.
An excellent Sunday. It was a great Masters. I'm not even a golf guy. People know this. You know this. Many a days in the summers when you guys would leave the house, run off to what was it?
Pleasant Valley.
Either Pleasant Valley or occasionally Fink Pine, and I'd be at home. I don't know what I was doing. Probably playing Fortnite. It was either Fortnite
it would have been pre-Fortnite.
It would have been pre-Fortnite. I said it was probably Clash of Clans.
Clash of Clans, or doing your Rubik's Cubes, or on YouTube.
Yeah. And but hey, I'll tune into the Masters. Right?
Yeah, I usually watch the 4 majors. I don't watch any other golf events unless I'm like really bored. But the Masters especially has a special place in my heart.
I told Lauren this. I was like, there is something, their branding and just the way they've done things, the way they've built their, we'll just call it aura of what the Masters is incredible.
It's magical.
Because they can get a guy like me who's just like, I'm so agnostic to golf. I don't even care. I do not care. I don't care that Rory hasn't won a major in 11 years. Don't care. Career Grand Slam, don't care. But then all of a sudden, Kev, Sunday, about 3 p.m., I'm like, Bryson's got to go fucking beat this guy. We got to bring one home for America. And then Bryson does his thing. He shits the bed. He starts falling out of it. And then I'm like, okay, I've turned. I'm now a Rory fan because I'm emotionally invested in this guy getting the career Grand Slam. I want him to get it. Then I saw a clip afterwards, after the fact, of him and Scotty rolling around at some like more casual event. They had him mic'd up and they had a video live feed of them in the cart, like driving between holes. They're talking about like creatine. I guess Rory consumes like 10 grams of creatine or 20 grams of creatine a day.
Really?
He says he does 10 before his workout, 10 after. Now he's starting to talk about his fitness routine, his supplements, and now I'm fully invested. I'm like, Rory's and it kind of follows the literature. There's a lot of new stuff coming out about creatine and its mental.
You ever watch the Netflix golf special? I think it was called Full Swing.
Love Full Swing.
Yeah.
Love Full Swing.
Yeah. They go into a couple of those guys' fitness routines, and I mean, it used to be like kind of a posh sport where like it's just a bunch of old guys, out there swinging around. Obviously they're very good back then, but these dudes now are training pretty hard.
Yeah. I feel like you have to. I think it's really underrated, the physical side of it. I mean,
until like Tiger came around, like Tiger could like bench like 350 plus, I think it was.
Wow, that is incredible.
Yeah, Tiger.
And I'm not surprised.
Tiger came along and he was like a gifted athlete, not just a gifted golfer, and it kind of redefined the training aspects of golf. And then now you see like there's some really big dudes on the tour now that can hit it a long way.
Well, I mean, you just watch Bryson take a full cut. And you're like, God, I mean, he better be working out if he's going to be torquing like that, or his body's going to fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there's a physicality to it. I mean, walking that many miles and not letting it affect you, like fatigue-wise, like you make the cut, you're going 4 days in a row. That's 18. It's kind of a slow 18. How many miles do you walk on a golf course when you play 18 holes? Is it like 5 or 6?
I mean, for the pros, I want to say they're usually playing like, I think it's like 8,000 yards or so.
Sure.
Is the length.
So what is that, 5 miles? It's 5 miles. Because you're not walking a dead straight line.
Yeah.
Tee to pin. So, I mean, that's And then not only that, but the amount of swings that you're taking over a weekend, you're hitting driving range every morning. These guys go to a lot of the events early, like a day.
7,500 yards at
Yeah,
at
there you go.
the Masters. Yeah.
So yeah, I love it. 20 grams of creatine. So I'm gonna have to up my creatine numbers. Rory's the Masters champion now and Grand Slam champion, 6th to ever do it. So hey, great stuff to all the golf fans out there. Glad you guys got to enjoy an incredible Masters. Those that
And Rory's been such an easy guy to cheer for too, because like he was the one that held out when Saudi Golf League was poaching everybody over from the PGA, and I don't know, just seems like a really good dude.
I've heard a lot of people don't like him. I've heard there's split. There's a split crowd there. I don't know.
I think Rory's a pretty popular fan favorite out there. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm sure you can't do anything in the public eye and be 100% liked.
Everybody has their haters. That's for sure. Yeah, 20 grams of creatine. But the real question is, when do we just start doing steroids?
I mean, the correct answer would have been about 12 years ago. Would have been the ideal time. But it's never too late.
Assuming we didn't get caught, it would have been great to have the benefits of PEDs for those 4 years.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Just running around there like
Okay. How much do you think steroids would have actually helped you? Because honestly, I don't know how much it actually would have helped me though.
So the short answer to that is, at the time, probably not very much, because I don't think I would have understood, or maybe even had the accessory knowledge to really like get everything out of it that that would actually help me. What does that mean? There are steroids that like are great for body comp. Like they are pro muscle, but they are also fat burning.
A little
clenbuterol, right? Just a little bit, right?
Just a little bit.
Not that I would know. I've done no research. Allegedly, there's a steroid or a PED or a peptide for anything, right? And so, what would have benefited me most is I needed to weigh about the same. Like my weight was fine. My body comp was not where it needed to be. It has now taken me 12 years and a semi-competitive CrossFit career and like legitimate training over the last 3 to 4 years for me to get somewhat close to what my body needed to be composition-wise 12 years ago. To where I'm now currently like 205. I could probably still put on 10 pounds, but it's a solid, like pretty lean and mean 205. Speed-wise, steroids probably weren't going to do much for me. Maybe just gradual little thing, like, I'd be a little stronger. I could be a little bit more powerful. I could maybe run a little faster. I would have been able to hand fight with guys and kind of get guys off me a little bit better. But I mean, half the time I didn't have anybody covering me. And I don't know if there's a whole lot of steroids out there that are going to work, that are going to help me with getting returners to not juke me out. So, I don't know. I don't think it would have helped me. I would have looked a lot better.
Yeah, like KF says, like they look good coming off the bus, right?
Yeah.
We would have looked good coming off the bus. I would be interested to see if like they could do a study of like, average football players, give them steroids, do they become good football players?
I think
it definitely makes good football players better. How
Sure.
could it not, right?
Yeah. I think like where it could really help is like an offensive lineman. Like
yeah, offense and defensive line for sure.
Yeah, the line. If you're a lineman and your main job is to basically push people or control another man, and all of a sudden you can add like 10% strength or something or more, And for them, body composition wise as well. There's some things that can add a little stamina. They add a little ability cardiorespiratory wise. All of a sudden now you're not as tired in the fourth quarter hits.
Do a little blood doping.
Your recovery is a little bit better. So now you can train harder. It's just a compounding thing. So I don't know. I think offensive line, Drake, you have a wrecking ball as a fullback and you just make that wrecking ball a little denser. That probably helps a little.
Yeah, and Drake dabbled in some substances,
some external,
and it definitely he got gassed up. He got really strong.
It was strong,
and his body failed him most likely because of said substances.
Yeah, well, because your body's now growing at a non-natural rate, and there are, your tendons and your ligaments it's supposed to be proportional. And when you get stronger, when the muscles get stronger at a rate that the tendons and everything else isn't, that creates some injury. So, but everybody's on testosterone now, dude.
Oh yeah, you can just say, hey, I'm a little tired. Don't have that energy. Can I have some TRT?
Drake's on it. Drake's getting in his butt every week. And he looks great. He doesn't even lift weights, and he still looks jacked because he's still getting the muscle tension and a lot of resistance training in a way as he rolls. I just saw a video of him today that he reposted from their gym on his Instagram story. He looks just as good as he ever did. So TRT, man. Just hop on a little T, man. You don't have to work hard. You don't have to eat good. Just hop on the TRT. That's a lie. But I am scared that maybe Grant's I think Grant's team could be reaching out soon. He might be holding out on the podcast. He might be asking for more money. Grant.
I think his day job probably is offering him more money right now.
Gotta be.
Which is what it is.
Yeah. What do you think about all that?
What, having a day job?
What do you think about? Hey, bro, what do you think about that 9 to 5? What are your thoughts and opinions on that 9 to 5, man?
I have no idea. I have no idea what a 9 to 5 even is.
You don't really have hours, do you? It's just when you wanna.
When I wanna? No, it's not when I wanna. It's when it's whenever dictates. Whenever dictates.
Whenever grandmas fall and break themselves.
Or someone gets in a car accident, or bunch of crazy stuff out there. Someone falls off a ladder. Gunshot every now and then.
4th of July coming around. Could have some injuries.
4th of July is a busy one. Yeah.
No, what I meant was, what do you think about Nico Iamaleava? I'm lava. Nico, I'm lava. Saying, hey, 2.4, not enough. I need 4 million. Or maybe his dad was saying this, or his agent, or maybe his dad is playing agent. I'm not exactly sure on the details, but have you been following this shit?
All I saw was that there was one day there was a rumor that he was pursuing other options, and then the next day he was officially in the portal or something like that.
He didn't show I think from my understanding, he reached out to Oregon, or his camp reached out to Oregon, and Lanning went to Heupel
and be I did see that tweet. It's
I don't know if there's any truth.
This guy's shopping around his
dad. I don't know if there's any truth to that. I kind of respect the shit out of Dan Lanning for yo.
If it's true, 100%.
Your boy is trying to find other places, and he came to us. And then I think that sort of caused the stir. And then maybe 3 days ago, maybe last Friday, or maybe it was the start of this week, Monday, as we record this on a Wednesday night, he just didn't show up to meetings. He just doesn't show up one day. And then a couple hours later, he's in the portal, and it comes out that he needs more money.
Has he found a landing spot yet?
As of right now, in Wednesday afternoon, I saw a couple reports that he was going to UCLA.
Hmm.
He is
UCLA came up with more money than
no,
Tennessee
no,
was offering.
no, they did not. They came up with about half of what he was getting at Tennessee, reportedly.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense, right?
Like they're giving him like $1 million or a little over $1 million, and he was getting 2.4 or 2 million a year at Tennessee. UCLA is going to pay him 1, but he fucked himself because or his dad, or I don't know who his
So
team
like
is.
someone from his camp went sniffing around like, hey, see if we can get some more money out of a different team, maybe like, reset the market for Nico, whatever is like. And in that world, it makes sense that you go to Oregon. Oregon's got deep pockets, and that if
Deep.
they want you, they'll
They'll
find
buy
the
you.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll find the money for you. Um, and that so the way it sounds like is that like if Lanning let Tennessee know, and then that kind of causes a stir at Tennessee, and basically like words out your welcome real quick. Like if, hey man, you're our top paid guy here by a lot. We just don't believe that you're worth an extra whatever you're looking for.
Yeah, I think he went
Best of
to
luck. And I mean, Brad said it the last time um we had him on the podcast, is like a lot of these guys are getting really bad advice about what they're worth from people that don't have their best interests at heart.
No, they have their own interest. They're like, hey, if
Yeah.
this guy can get a contract for $4 million a year, I can double my salary. He's getting 2. If he can get 4, I make twice as much. And so then they start, dude. I think Williams said it on the Iowa Everywhere pod that in the basketball world, there's people who are not agents. They're not there's some random guy out there who's not Nico's agent. I'm using Nico as an example. I'll use it. Kevin Ward, high profile linebacker. You can drop it back to the secondary as well. He's a speedy guy. He can play both. He's just a thick guy. He's like 225, but he can run. High market value. Tyler, you have your own agent. Drake Kulik is your agent. That's who that's who deals with Iowa, all this stuff. Tyler Kluver, have nothing to do with you. Potentially have never even just talked to you. I start going to other teams and saying, hey, I'm representing Kevin Ward. He's looking to maybe jump in the portal this offseason and find a new landing spot. What kind of coin can you guys fork over for a guy like that? And then he starts having these conversations. He gets a couple random agent that's trying to cash in on these players. He then takes a couple. He gets a couple feelers out there. Yeah, Oregon, yeah, we'll pay Kevin Ward 1.2 to come play defense for us. Ohio State, we'll pay him 1.3, but this and this. Another place, we'll pay him 1 straight up, but he can have it right away. Whatever. That fucking slimy guy then goes to you and initiates a conversation and says, hey, I've got a lot of connections with a lot of teams. I several of them have asked about you and if I have any connection to you, and here's what they're saying they would pay you. I'll represent you in a new deal. It's unbelievable, dude.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And Brad said that agents are ruining this shit, and he's the one who has to deal with that, along with Tyler Barnes and KF, all these people. And I think somewhat, to be honest, on a lower end scale, from what I've heard, put it all on me. This isn't Kevin's opinion or anything else. This isn't coming from anybody. It's just I have sources. I think Jermari fell into that a little bit. Not with an NIL deal, but what his value was at the next level. I think from what I hear, Jermari could have basically played out the rest of the year. He stopped playing at like the 9th or 10th game. I think there was 2 or 3 games left. He could have played. But his agent, his team was telling him, hey man, if you get hurt, if the little nagging injury, I think he does have a legit injury that he did get legit surgery on. But if that gets any worse, or these last few games aren't as great on tape because you're playing, at 80%, your draft stock's going to go down. And right now, you're a first rounder. Someone told him that. And so he said, all right, fuck it, I'm shutting it down. I don't think he's going to get drafted. Like from what I saw most recently, he's a last day guy, potential free agent. Because of that decision.
I would have thought that he was definitely a draft pick, but definitely not a first day, definitely not a second day.
Talent-wise, yes, he should go on the third day, Kev. But teams find this shit out. And I think they know the same story or the same rumors. And now they're questioning, really? Like that guy sat out a couple games because we're not going to take somebody who's worried about money like that, who's worried about.
See, I don't know how much the NFL cares about that stuff anymore. Because
I mean, they have to deal with it anyway, but
I mean, and the guys started opting out of bowl games, opting out of remember Nick Bosa opted out of half the season.
I know. Crazy.
He got an injury that you could be returned for in 2 weeks, like in week 5 or something like that. He just said, I'm done.
I'm done. And I mean, it's just different.
Top 3 draft pick, something like that.
He was pretty high. I mean, he's doing just fine, right? Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Shout out to all the OGs, all those on the Patreon, patreon.com/washedupwalk-ons, getting that weekly extra podcast from Grant and myself. It's now on Fridays. It used to be Dickhead Tuesdays. Now it's Tagline Fridays. Taglines, Tyler and Gary. So we'll play on words there. We have a fun time. So you get a free whole additional podcast. If you're watching the YouTube, by the way, give us a like. The likes help us so much. Let's get us over 100 likes and get us to 5,000 subscribers. I'll do like a 5,000 calorie challenge, or somebody else suggested a 5,000 push-up challenge. I could do that. I could get in for that.
How long would it take you to do 5,000 push-ups?
It would take a while. I didn't tell anybody I was doing this, but last year in the year 2024, I did 140 a day, which totaled out to be just over 50,000 in the year. Obviously, that was across a year. I would be doing 10% of that in one go. I don't think I could do it in it would have to be a couple days. But
I mean,
I did 1,000 on one day last year because I started to get behind.
I remember during COVID, I did I forget how many. I want to say it was 1,000 in a day one time.
Yeah. For someone who works
out, it was some crazy number like that. But yeah, I mean, if you did 100 an hour every hour,
it's 24, which is super easy.
Yeah, but I mean, that's 2 days.
You'd have to do, it'd be about 2 days. Could I get 200 an hour? Ooh, that'd be.
Yeah, I mean, 200 an hour, knock it down. Yeah, honestly.
I wonder what the record for. No, I'm curious. You want to take a crack at the 24-hour push-up record? Oh, dear God.
I'm going to say it's probably around 10,000. I'm going to say.
Oh, buddy, it doesn't even make sense.
Hit me.
46,000?
How? In 24 hours?
Guinness World Record for most push-ups in 24 hours is 46,000, set in 1993. It stood for 30 years.
That's 1,900 push-ups an hour. It's 31 a minute every minute. It's basically 32 a minute every minute.
It's what Google
24 straight hours.
It's what it says, bro. I'm just reading what it says.
I don't believe it.
That's
legitimately don't believe it. Yeah.
I don't either. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Join the army. Not only do you get the extra podcast every week, you get the regular episodes. This one, at some point in this episode, you're going to hear that it's going to click out. It's going to go into those ad reads. Ad-free listening over on the Patreon. You get your own special Walk On Army feed of the ad-free podcasts, except for the sponsorships. We're still pumping Eagle Point all over your ass, right? The Iowa Egg Council, we're just dropping eggs on your dome. But of course, you get the merchandise discounts. And if all of that wasn't enough, you're contributing to a good cause. You can consider it your charity for the year, your donation to help us help the children at UI Children's Hospital in Iowa City. It's really a no-brainer. If you're watching the YouTube, scan that QR code. If not, just go to patreon.com/washedupwalk-ons. Join now. Depending on what level you join at, you might get some free merchandise. Who knows? I'll leave that up on the screen. Oh, by the way, if you guys follow us on Facebook at all, our Facebook is gone.
We had a Facebook.
Oh yeah, we had a Facebook, and it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say it did numbies, but it got like a couple hundred views on videos we'd post. Every once in a while, get a couple comments, or some of our clips would occasionally pop off on there. We had like almost 5,000 followers on the page. Um, I I because it was under my personal Facebook, it was a page that I ran, Tyler Kluver. My Tyler Kluver Facebook somehow, like, my password got jacked, and then so I had to reset that, but then I had to confirm my identity, and through doing that, I couldn't. It, it, I just I did all the avenues, and Facebook, I cannot get back into my Facebook. So my personal Facebook and the Washed Up Walk-Ons Facebook by proxy are they're gonna be gone. So anybody who has messages with me on there or like has DM the account, if you guys are wondering where we're at, we're gone. I wanted to give you guys that bookkeeping note. Hit us on Instagram or Twitter or YouTube. Oh, this was a good deal. Somebody contacted us. If you live in the Waukee area, I live less than a mile from this establishment. The Mickey's Irish Pub here in Waukee.
There's a Mickey's in Waukee
There is.
associated with the one in Iowa City.
No idea. Doubt it.
I mean, it's Mickey's Irish Pub in Iowa City, so I mean,
There's a lot of Mickey's Irish pubs probably everywhere.
Yeah, you're probably right.
The one in Waukee, at least for the time being, had Hops by a Million on tap.
On tap?
Shout out to a couple listeners. They listened to the show, a couple regulars. They hit me up and were like, hey, we listened to the show. We asked for them to get a keg or a couple kegs of Hops by a Million here at the bar. And Barntown sent them a couple kegs, and they had like a keg, like a handle and everything with our logo on it. I wish I could share it so it was here local in Waukee for a while, at least, until supplies last.
I mean, were you aware that this was ever available to purchase on tap?
Buddy, I didn't know a single thing about this.
Because
somebody hit me up and said, hey, your beer's here at Mickey's in Waukee. I was like, I had no fucking clue. I haven't talked to Barntown in a while.
We got to run it back because I mean it's a solid beer, and I think they should be. They're missing out by not running it 24/7.
I know we got to get it in stores too. I don't think it would be that hard. We could send so many people to Fairways and Hy-Vees across the state of Iowa to just. I mean, I still have like the first four packs sitting on my counter down here as like memorabilia. It's a sick can.
Yeah,
it's a good beer.
It's great beer.
We could sell the shit out of that. And guess what? It benefits the Children's Hospital. So, they did hit me up about doing another event this fall. The problem is that Friday, I prioritized us having a booth at the trade show at Fry Fest, which we are locked in for. We are official. We're going to be there slinging merch at Fry Fest this year. Hard for me to be in two places. Can't do one versus the other. So we'll figure that out. But yeah, that's that. A couple notes here. Again with the Portal Madness. Bring this one up. Brendan Sullivan. Knew it was coming, right?
I mean, I thought there's a chance that he was going to be like the kind of guy to just kind of ride it out, even though you weren't going to play. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, again, this is all sort of old news. This is last week's stuff too. We're not gonna act like this is breaking news. But he shared this note on social media. Loved and enjoyed every second he spent here, which was actually less than a year. It's crazy. It feels like Sullivan's been part of the program for a couple of years. He literally got there in like June. He's been there for 10 months. Made a bunch of memories, awesome experience. After continued prayer, conversations with my family, it's in my best interest to enter the transfer portal for my final year of eligibility. And it makes sense. He's got 1 year of eligibility. He proved last year that he's somewhat valuable. There's a team out there that's like, we could grab that guy. He might be able to compete for a starting spot. And if you've got 1 year left, you want to play ball.
I mean, that's what this seems. I think he fully understands that he's not an NFL quarterback. I mean, I would at least hope so.
Yeah. You would think.
And he just wants to go find somewhere where he can play for his last
Right.
opportunity.
It's
So.
similar to Cade. Cade's down at like East Tennessee State. He's gonna play
Did
out.
he find a home? Holy shit!
I think he's at East Tennessee State last I saw, and I think
That
he's
dude is like almost as old as us, man.
feels like it. Feels like it. And these guys, they just want to play one more year. They just want to just give me some playing time. So Gronowski, we paid the guy to be our quarterback, like $1 million or something. He's going to be our quarterback. Hank Brown, this young guy from Auburn, probably steps in as the second, and then Jimmy Sullivan. We still have a Sullivan on the roster, spelled different. Jimmy Sullivan, young kid, is there right now. I think he's the 3. So we've got options. I think Jackson Stratton's still on the roster too. We can put Shaggy in at any time, bro.
Undefeated as a starter.
Guy's a legend. Yeah, I just don't think that was much of a surprise. This one kind of was interesting. So not a name that was huge, but you remember Pascuzzi? Johnny Pascuzzi was a tight end on the roster for the last couple seasons.
Yeah.
So he entered the transfer portal at the end of last year. He must have been one of those guys, we talked about Coach Ferentz and how he approached everybody like, hey, there's going to be the 105. Here's what it's looking like. Here's where you stand in the program. He entered the transfer portal, assumingly, like most of these kids, they're like, hey, I want to go be the guy somewhere. We have Ostrenga. We have Ortworth. There are 1-2. Who knows what's behind them? But Pascuzzi felt like he probably wasn't going to be in the fold as much as he wanted to be, so he transfers. He goes to West Virginia to start this spring semester, transfers at semester. 2 days ago, he's back in the portal already. And this is not the first time I've seen something like this. I mean, he spent not even an entire spring. These kids are basically getting into spring ball.
I wonder, I mean...
Dude, the other person I saw that just did this, DeColdest. You remember DeColdest?
DeColdest Ferguson? Was it Ferguson or
Crawford? Crawford.
DeColdest Crawford, yeah.
Committed to Nebraska. Went through last season, same thing. Back in December, decided, hey, I'm going to find a new school. He went to La Tech, I think. Spent the last 2.5, 3 months with La Tech and is back in the transfer portal after not even finishing an entire spring ball. They get to this new spot and they're automatically just like, all right, well,
this place sucks.
They're not something's wrong. They're not playing me. I'm not the guy. I'm not the starter. I'm right back in the portal. It's nuts, dude. They just uproot their lives.
Yeah, man. They really need to cap your transfers. It's actually insane.
You shouldn't be able to enter the transfer portal twice within the same calendar year.
And keep your eligibility for that year? Absolutely fucking not.
Or like twice within the same 6 months at least. Like, we got to find something that's going on.
Look in the mirror. Maybe it's you, buddy. Maybe it's you.
Well, I mean, maybe it is. Like, what is this teaching kids? Dude, this is literally like, hey, you get a job at Stryker, right? Whenever you got your job, like 2020 or something? 2019?
18.
Damn, you're tenured, bro. I guess CEOs are pretty tenured.
We graduated in 17, man, and I didn't make the league, so,
I know, I felt like you kind of, I guess you really only did the summer, and then you were right into working. Kevin Ward, hey, I'm a striker man, joining the company. I like using these analogies with you. This is fun. It's good. Second one of the podcast. Kevin Ward, he's gonna be a striker guy. You start working. 3 months in, you're like, nah, actually, fuck this.
Happens.
What's a competing company?
Johnson & Johnson.
I think Johnson & Johnson's a better look for me. I'm gonna go over there. I'll sell for them. This striker just ain't for me. And they're gone. And then they do it again. And there's no repercussions, really.
If you can do it once, maybe. You do it twice, and that raises alarm bells, and you're good luck ever getting hired again.
I mean, yeah, and you would think the same with an athlete. So you go to some coach, you're like, hey, I'm in the portal. You guys interested? And they're like, well, you've entered the portal 3 times in the last 12 months, buddy. What are you doing? What's the issue here? It's just crazy. And I know, I think we knew this stuff was going to be nuts. On this podcast, we talked about how, yeah, it's probably going to be a little out of hand. There's going to be, with no rules and the NCAA basically having no jurisdiction anymore, or no balls at least to step up and do anything. It's basically like, there's going to be some wild stuff, but man, it's gotten to a point. It's gotten to a point where I don't know. I don't know about it. I just think about, like, you and I played not even a decade ago. I mean, it's getting close.
It's getting close.
And we didn't have to worry about any of this shit.
Yeah, no.
You don't even know your teammates.
That's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah, like, you don't even know them. They're there for a week. And then when they're there, everybody's pocket watching. Hey, how much is he getting from the swarm? How much is he getting? Oh, wonder if I can get more at this school. Oh, we got to worry about keeping this guy. It's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, honestly, it would have been nice to make a lot of money during playing college football, but looking back now, it's like, it's probably for the best, right?
I mean, I would have taken the money. What do we think about this here? For those not watching,
absolutely insane. I saw this today. Yeah, that is
Colorado Buffaloes, number 2 and number 12, officially untouchable. Witness Shadur Sanders and Travis Hunter have their jersey numbers retired during the spring game on April 19th.
This is like, imagine your imagine you're Travis Hunter. Like, that's like extremely disrespectful to put them on the same. You just put them on the same level as me. I'm about to be. I mean,
so here's how I see
he
this.
was like
Travis,
the best two-sided player since maybe ever. I don't know. And
yeah, I'd say
we're also going to retire the coach's son's number because he was good.
Because he was a really good quarterback for 1 year.
Yeah.
Like, what? Dude, this is insane. I kind of get Travis Hunter, but also not right now.
Not right away, right?
Somebody made the point.
I mean, depending on the program, but anyone who wins a Heisman has a legitimate argument, right?
Sure.
Some programs, like, they got a lot of Heisman winners and, good for them. Embarrassment of riches. Some programs were, you got one, and guess what? No one ever wears Niall Kinnick's number ever again. Cool.
Right. Sure.
We can agree on that. But yeah, I don't know when we retired Niall Kinnick's number. I don't think it was 6 months after he was done playing.
That'd be a fun trivia question. When?
Yeah, it's that's ridiculous.
It doesn't make any sense to me. It's obvious that talk about nepotism. I mean, that's been the whole thing.
No, 1,000,000%. If he's not the head coach's son, does this happen?
Niall Kinnick's number took 33 years to be retired. He died for our country.
Would it have been the same time they renamed the stadium after him? It sounds about the same time.
It said 72.
When did they name it Kinnick Stadium? Because I think it was around that time.
Yeah, it sounds right. And like do it all at once. Yeah, 1972.
Yeah.
Replaced the former stadium located on the east bank of the Iowa River and was renamed in 1972 in honor of halfback Niall Kinnick. And that's also when they retired his number. September 23rd, 2 days before my birthday. 31 this year, Kev. Young. So young. Crazy to me that they're retiring. Unbelievable. Last thing we're going to do tonight. This will be fun. And this is crazy that I have to give this sort of credit. But this is from Schizophrenic Hawkeye.
Okay.
on Iowa Twitter. So shout out to Schizo Hawk. He's been running this grid, and I didn't want to. It's already 5 people in. they've been doing this. I don't know if you've seen it.
Okay, okay, so
I didn't want to muddy your brain by who they picked on here, the community. I just thought, hey, me and you do this together. Hawkeye fans, I want your participation in this Iowa football player grid. It is a 3x3 box. Top columns are great player, average player, bad player. Side rows are loved by fans, fans are divided, hated by fans. So you get one of each where they cross.
okay.
I thought this would be great fun for a little one of these podcasts where we didn't have a guest, we didn't have anything, Grant's not here to make this a good show. We got 10, 15 minutes. Let's fill in this grid. Somebody, and I will say this, somebody on Twitter suggested you specifically for one of these
Oh,
squares.
God. I guarantee you I'm in the far right column.
For the same square, somebody on that same post tweeted, any of the washed up walk-ons fill in this one.
All right. I'm going to guess it's bad player fans are divided, right?
It was bad player loved by fans.
Oh, okay. I'll take it, man. I'll take it.
It's like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'll take it. Bad player. But the problem was I kind of took offense to that because, for my role and what I was doing,
you were great at what you did.
I was pretty good. I mean, I don't know if I'll go to great, but I will personally say I was pretty good. I was a really good long snapper. Maybe not great, maybe not all time. I was a really good long snapper. So I was a good player for what.
I'm hesitant to put anyone in that far right column, man. It's just.
Oh no, there's definitely some bad players. I mean, we could alienate some former teammates.
I don't want to do that.
Drake Kulik. Fans are divided. Bad player.
I don't know if are fans even divided anymore. He might be in that bottom row now.
Hated by fans. So I'll alienate one former teammate just because it's the most obvious answer. Our boy Akram Wadley, hated by fans, great player.
Yeah, sure. Yep, I'll second that.
Akram absolutely goes, and I don't even have to. I think everyone just agrees with me. After you scam fans out of money by selling footballs that you never send, and then try to fuck the university over by suing them to grab like $170K. Yeah, I think you're in there. So we'll just fill Ackerman in that bottom left square. Great player though. I mean, the fucking guy had just unbelievable feet. I mean, I don't know if there's ever been someone as shifty as him. Literally could not have won multiple games without him. The two that stick out are the Michigan game and the Iowa State game.
Yep.
Just made some unworldly plays that, I mean, more talent. I mean, he did one. There was one run in that Michigan game. He lost a shoe. He was still juking people out.
Yep, he was a special talent, no doubt.
He was elite. But we'll start back up there. Great player, loved by fans. Great player, loved by fans.
I'm just gonna pull the easy card, and it's Niall Kinnick.
Yeah. Okay. So this is what
we listened to his Heisman acceptance speech before everything, and gets me a little teary eyed, and I think the fans really freaking love it. And the stadium's named after the guy. Ain't nobody besides Tyler Kluwer says a bad thing about the guy.
Okay. Here
I'm
we
gonna
go.
put him in the top left corner.
I'm also going to put him there. This is what the community did as well. They're not finished. They're like halfway through it on here. Great player for his time. Great player maybe for a long time. Put him in today's world as he was. Not a fair thing to do, right? Because again, I think as a human race, we've gained like 2 or 3 inches on our average height. He would have been bigger, all this stuff. Impossible to project. But if you take 5'7" Niall Kinnick from 1939 and you stick him on the 2025 defensive roster or the offensive roster, he is getting waxed. Nonetheless, great player, loved by fans. Niall Kinnick, top left corner. Okay, we'll go across as we're reading. Average player, loved by fans. Now, the answer that Twitter came up with this one, I thought was egregious based off of how good they were. I'll tell you, you will not come up with this person. You'll be like, wow, that doesn't make any sense. Average player, loved by fans. This is kind of tough because all the names that come to mind are people that we played with, and I really don't want to call anybody average.
Well,
But like,
it's tough. It's tough to get a gauge on how loved people were by the fans
true,
pre social media era.
you're right. How do you
You
know?
know,
Right? How do you know?
right? Um,
Yeah, the hated by fans is going to have to be somebody within the last 10 years because that's how you know people hate them, as they say it on Twitter.
pretty much, yeah.
Can I go like Nick Easley here?
I think he is. I mean,
He's
what is your definition of average, though? I mean, he
I
was.
thought he balled out, but like if we're talking on a scale of like how good is this guy in all of college football, he was like your average wide receiver.
I would say he was above average, man.
Okay.
I mean, he spent some time with the Bill in the
You're right.
league
He
a
did.
little
He
bit,
did.
so I
He had
mean,
some great clips
that's
there too.
above
This is
average.
nothing against Ease, by the way. Ease is a dog.
I love Easley. You know, my mind goes to like the Paulson twins, like
Oh, yeah. Not not your
you know,
NFL,
like good, like I don't know, not great,
didn't have a career in the
not
league
bad,
opportunity.
average, above average. You know, starters they played, and
Loved by the
but you
fans.
know who doesn't look they. I don't know anybody has anything bad to say about the Paulsons.
Dude, the
Those guys
Paulsons
are
is a
freaking awesome.
great answer for that one.
Yeah.
Put both of them in there. Okay. And then you for this third square, bad player, loved by fans.
Yeah, that's where you're gonna go with. I'm not gonna
You would
go.
not have been my pick, but someone
Oh,
did say
who did the fans choose for that top middle run?
Ricky Stanzi.
What?
Bro, average?
No.
Bro. Dude was good to really good. Maybe not great,
I mean,
but really good.
you can't put anyone who goes to the league in the middle column.
I agree.
That's atrocious.
You'll shit at who they put in this one too. Bad player, loved by fans.
Oh man.
I'll just tell you, they put Nico Ragaini in this play.
Bad?
I thought, dude, I'm like, bro,
fuck?
Nico was pretty good.
I mean,
There's
yeah.
not. It's not a great like. There's
Well,
not.
it's like okay, the bad players don't play, right?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, yeah, or they do like for a year and they don't produce.
It was a
Bad player, loved by
by the
fans.
fans. I don't know, man. Like
We have to say somebody's bad. Drake.
he does not belong in the top column or top row for sure.
Some people really love him. Bad player.
Bad player.
Spencer Petras. Wasn't. I don't know if you can call him good. Just wasn't good.
Yeah, yeah.
And I love Spence. Came on the podcast. Fucking awesome dude. I think he's loved by a lot of people now.
I mean, he was an ultimate teammate, right? Like
ultimate. Maybe he's just loved by his teammates. I don't know if he's loved.
I think towards the end, fans appreciated like his character, you know, fighting through the insane amount of hate that he took.
I would like to think so.
And just doing it with nothing but class. That you know, he got a pretty good senior day ovation.
Deacon Hill. Sneak and Deacon.
I don't know if the fans love Deacon Hill.
I don't know either. These are tough. We'll go with Petras. Okay, now we're into the fans are divided section. Back to great player. DJK.
Are the fans divided? Really?
I think a lot of people who either just didn't buy into the stories or like are just like
to buy into the stories that he was dealing drugs.
Hey, dude, allegedly, bro. Allegedly. Great player. I'm trying to think who else would fans be divided on?
I don't know.
It's tough. I mean, like, you really got to find some, like, in Iowa football, you got to find like those very few controversial characters that are like. I mean, theoretically, you could almost put Drake here. I don't know if you call him a great player.
He's not a great player.
He was a fullback for 2 years. I mean, Drake, if this gets back to you, you were good.
I don't care. I'll tell Drake to his face that you weren't a great player.
Sorry, bud. Sorry.
I mean, Yeah, we put Niall Kinnick in the one above.
Okay, you're right. You're right. We
So
can't be
let's not get any crazy that it's offensive that we're not calling Drake.
talent wise in these two. We have Akram Wadley and Niall Kinnick, and then
Yeah, we
I don't
wanna
know
put
if we can
Drake
add
in
Drake
there,
in that
absolutely
talent
not.
category.
Great player that fans are divided on. I don't know. I mean, maybe DJK has enough support to be in the fans are divided row.
I think there's a fair amount of people who like looked past it or didn't ever allow themselves to like really be, or they were like, they're part of the fan base. They're like, no, screw the coaches. He got screwed. He should have got more playing time. I believe what he says about the situation. I don't know. I think they went with DJK online too. I'm not
Hmm.
sure. This middle one could be the it's like, who's average and the fans are divided on it. Does Drake end up here?
I mean,
This is a perfect spot for Drake Kulik.
this just feels like you just name a random guy who's like, a good player, but like no one had, not even fans are divided, but no one had like any feelings toward him whatsoever.
I want to say that online they went with Nate here, Stanley.
Nate Stanley.
Yeah. And he's not a bad choice. I do personally think he's better than average. I think now you look
He
back.
was a better than average quarterback, and I think in the last 6 years, his legacy has grown substantially
Oh,
from
yeah.
what we had to see at the quarterback position.
No one's had a better come up than Nate Stanley
Exactly, yeah.
in the last
He was not
5.
appreciated during his time.
I wonder how many people have DM'd him now years after the fact, and they're like, dude, I'm so sorry. I wish we fucking had you back right now. Still the best story ever is when Nate tweeted Nate tweeted something or I tweeted something, and I was like, Nate still owes me for giving him an extra touchdown pass during that Ohio State game. And he Venmo'd me 10 minutes later, 69 cents. Still one of the best things. And I never even talked to the guy. I don't think I'd ever have I'd never Venmo'd him before. We weren't having like a behind the scenes conversation. I literally just tweeted like, yeah, Nate still owes me. 10 minutes later, I get a Venmo. I was laughing my ass off.
That's funny, man. That's funny. No, Nate was a good dude. Nate was a good dude.
Ultimate
Great
dude.
teammate. Yeah.
Quiet guy, but just great guy.
Yeah, man. This middle row's tough. I don't know how to judge it.
Bad player. Fans are divided. This is a weird one. I don't know. Like fans, I don't know. It's hard to say with the fans. We're not really fans.
Who'd
Bad
you put in
player.
the top right?
Bad player loved by fans. Oh, Spencer.
Oh yeah. Is that who the fans put?
I think there was no. They put Nico.
Oh, they put Nico. Oh yeah, that makes no sense.
Bad player. Fans are divided. Bad. Like who's a bad player? It's so hard for me to say who's a bad player. It's tough because like if you're bad, you don't really play.
Right.
And so if you don't play, fans don't really have an opinion on you.
So you had to be good enough to play, but bad enough to
like
people know that you were bad.
I have no idea. I don't know. I think we have
I honestly I'm drawing.
bad. Can we just go to we already did Akram. Average player hated by fans. Now Drake really he could slip into that one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he could easily fall into that category.
And bad player hated by fans. It's funny because
Ooh, I got
bad player. Dude,
who
somebody
fucking what's his name? Just spent a year at Ohio. God damn it. What's his
spent a
name?
year at Ohio. What? The freshman wide receiver?
Yeah, what was his name?
Caleb Brown?
Caleb Brown.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, sure.
That's what I'm going to throw out there.
Who's that kid from Iowa City West that went to Michigan and then came to Iowa for 1 year and then
Oh, that's how Drake got on the map being hated by fans.
what was he? Is he a bad player hated by fans? I forget the kid's name. We did a whole podcast about him.
Yeah, I don't even remember. It was a long time. That was like the night before your wedding.
Yeah, and not me, but you and a couple other people, we had just come home from the rehearsal dinner.
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah, we're gonna do a podcast in the living room of my house, and half of us are intoxicated. What do you guys think about this freshman recruit who chose Michigan over Iowa? And all of what we said became true eventually. We looked like Nostradamus. But at the time, people were like, yeah, maybe not the best idea to get on a podcast drunk and talk shit about a 4-star recruit that went to Michigan. And then his career ended up never panning out, and we looked like geniuses. But
Never doubt your drunk self, right?
I mean, truth comes out, right? Be a bad idea for us to do a drunk podcast now. We know too much, and we're too far away from the thing that like everything would slip out. All of our opinions, true thoughts.
Yeah. Don't care as much anymore. Yeah, I'm actually interested to see how this whole graph shapes out. So what do they have so far? So we got
I'll just take you to their
okay, yeah,
updated
that's it.
version. So they have Nile and great player loved by fans, Stanzi and average player loved by fans, Nico Ragaini and bad player loved by fans, DJK in fans are divided great player, and Nate Stanley in fans are divided average player. See, that's just such a and it is a fan thing. It does say loved by fans, fans are divided. Like, but from the inside, the respect that Nate had from his teammates and like people knew he was a good quarterback. And also fans are divided. There should be no reason why fans are divided over.
I mean, maybe they're divided over like how good he was or whatever. I don't know.
Sure, but like, I mean, I guess, I don't know.
I don't know where they get off calling Nico a bad player.
I don't know how Ricky Stanzi ends
Or
up in the
Ricky
average player.
Stanzi, an average player.
Shout out to Schizo Hawk, one of the,
Yeah,
I
that's
think he's just a burner, one of the
a
Iowa
fun little
burners.
exercise.
His name is Schizo Hawk. He has Mark Gronowski photoshopped over the sunrise as his Twitter banner. And yeah, I mean, somehow he made it onto our podcast. That's where we're at tonight. That's all I got. Shout out to Eagle Point Solar. I'll give him the full rundown at the end here. Didn't really give him a one in the middle. With longer, sunnier days ahead, people with solar really do make hay while the sun is shining. Due to longer days, solar owners benefit from increased energy production throughout the day into the early evening. Some solar owners earn energy credits through net metering with their utility, and some store the excess energy in a storage battery to use when the sun goes down. Either way, there are many options to design and build the right solar system. You can build a whole goddamn solar system for your home or business. Shout out to Eagle Point Solar. Go to eaglepointsolar.com. It's true. The sun never stops burning, and if it does, we're all dead. And why not take advantage of that big, beautiful thing today? Take your energy bill into your own hands. That's what I got. Eagle Point, Kevin and myself are out. Grant will be back next time. I keep saying we're going to do this draft thing. I think I now have a couple more guests lined up. Eventually it'll happen. Either way, we'll be back every Monday, Thursday. Wash up walk-ons in your ears. See you then.